Hey guys, Mitch here, and I promised that I would kind of explain how I made this, which is my pipe rack. I'm going to try to get everything in there. It's the top. And I'll just kind of work my way down slowly just so you can kind of see everything that's going on there with that. So as quickly as possible, the way I did this was I took a pallet, a standard pallet. I got it from work. You could get them from anywhere, and I cut it in half, long ways. So you can see I just did it with a circular saw. Once I got it halved long ways, I didn't really alter the pallet at all as far as changing the dimensions of the half that I took. I just kept it like it was. So then what I did was make my shelves, and I made, and you can see here's the first rack, or the top rack right there, and all this is a slat that I just cut to fit in between this post and that post. That's all I did. I didn't rip it or do anything else. I just cut it to fit in there, and then I screwed it in from the back. Once I had this one done, I went ahead and I made this one down here, which, as you can see, it's the same thing. I did the exact same thing I did with this one. I did that down here, same dimensions, everything like that, except on this bottom one, because it's holding more weight, I went ahead and cut a little block here with the circular saw and screwed that into one of the slats on the back to reinforce the shelf there, because I'm keeping tobacco on it. Sometimes I keep other stuff on there, whatever. Also on the top, if you notice down this area right here, that's another slat cut to fit into the top there, so I could put my whiskey bottles and my church warden and whatever else up there. I also did the same thing down here behind all these pipes. I fit another slat in there to make that shelf, and I did it again down on the bottom, and that's actually what all of these tobacco tins and bags and whatnot are sitting on. I can actually show you the bottom. It looks, it looks like that. So once I got all these shelves in, and then I also put the top and the bottom things in, the hardest part of the whole build, well, one of them anyway, I say hard, it was just time consuming, were these this piece. You can kind of see, and I'll get like kind of close up there. That's where I notched the wood to put the pipe stems. Now, not all my pipe stems fit in there. I was going for a 20 rack, and this will hold 20 pipe. It'll actually hold more because I've got them kind of scattered all over the place. But when I first got into pipe collecting, I was buying a lot of little pipes like these guys here, estate pipes with thin stems, and then I got into more of the indie pipes and with the bigger, fatter stems, and they don't fit so well in these notches. Now, one thing I will say too is if you have a big pipe like this is, let's see here. Well, this is David Jones here. This is a fat poker. Even if you were to it doesn't want to stay. It wants to lean forward. I found that it's much easier just to set these underneath it. Now, for these smaller pipes, like like this billiard and this K Woody and things like that, they all fit in there really nicely. The corn cob back there, it's too big. It's too top heavy. It'll want to lean forward. So what I do is, you can see I kind of lean my pipes up like this Hackert here. Just kind of stick it right there. It looks nice and it works, but I think that you should have it like for these Petersons. That Peterson bent pipe right there fits really nicely in there. So what I did is I took one of these these pieces of wood here from the slats on the back, and I ripped it in half. And then I marked out 10 with a pencil on the top, 10 divots. And I don't have a drill press. I had to use a Dremel tool with a router wheel, and then hand cut each individual one of those. It probably took me about an hour and a half to do this one with 10 divots, or 10 holes, and then this one with 10. Probably about an hour and a half. If you had a drill press, you could probably do that in about 5 minutes total. And then again, once I had those set, or the way I wanted them with the 10 equally spaced divots, I just screwed them in from the back so that you couldn't see any of the screws. So once all that was done, the pipe rack itself, as far as being able to hold pipes, was done. But it wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to add an aesthetic aspect to it. to really kind of bring it back to the rustic kind of log cabin, cool looking feel that I like. So I got this idea to put this corrugated tin in the background, only on the bottom shelf. Now you could do it up top, and it would probably still look really cool, but I just did it on the bottom. I just went to Home Depot and I bought a slab or a sheet of corrugated tin. It was about $3, and then I just measured it and cut it to fit. And I used a metal cutting circular saw. I work for a construction company that makes tools, so I kind of have a little bit of an advantage. I ripped it with that, and then if you can see here, I notched this out, and I did that with a Dremel tool with a abrasive wheel on it. I will tell you this, it's a bitch to get this all lined up the way that it is now. It took me a while, and I messed up 1 or 2 times and had to go get another sheet of corrugated tin. My recommendation, buy 2 sheets. You know, it's only $3 or $4, and you'll be good. Once you, and I kind of skipped ahead, so you can do that. You can cut it and get it form fit. Before you put that in there and tack it in, I used finish nails to tack this in. You'll want to stain it, and I'm not prepared, so let me. This is my bunch of shit I use. This is actually the stain that I used. It's the Minwax Wood Finish Espresso 273, and all I did with that is take it and put it on one of these shop rags I bought at Harbor Freight. And the key is to obtaining the look that I got is don't sand it. Just dip the rag into the espresso stain and then just go over it. And then you'll get this old wood coming through, and it'll make it look very rustic. And it's a lot less work than trying to sand it down and everything. Once you get it stained and let it dry, go ahead and tack your corrugated tin in. And as far as the pipe rack construction goes, you're done. Now, I don't know how much weight's on there. I would say probably about 25 to 30 pounds. Plus the thing weighs about 20 pounds maybe. The way that I mounted this, it's not in the stud. I actually used plastic toggle bolts. Again, I work for an anchoring fastening company, so I get these for free. But the key to hanging this thing, and this is important, is making sure that your holes are level when you drill them in the back of the pipe rack, and then also making sure that they match up perfectly with what's on the wall. Now, what you'll want to do is if you have access to one, I used a laser level, and what I did is I put this out on my back porch, and I shot the laser level on the back side. Imagine that this is the back side. I shot the laser across here, and what I did is I marked a hole here and a hole here on the laser line, and then I measured the distance between the two, and then when I went to mount it, I brought it inside. I figured out where I wanted it. I shot the laser on the wall. Using the distance between this one and this one, I marked 2 holes and sank those drywall anchors in. Now you can see, hopefully, on the inside here, right up in that direction, and then again right up in here, those are my screws, and that's what's holding it on the wall. Now from out here, you can't tell at all how that's on there. But what you don't want to do is try and level it up via the pallet, because pallets aren't square. So use some kind of a level line on the wall, use the same level line on your pallet, set your holes, mark your distances, and that way you're not putting a bunch of holes in your wall. And then when you get it done, it will be level. Now, if your pallet's a little out of square, whatever, at least it'll be level on the wall. And you know what? If it is out of square, it won't really matter because it's not supposed to be perfect. So then the rest of it is just trying to make it look cool with all your pipes and stuff. This took a while. This is probably 1.5 years worth of pipe collecting. You know, and I gotta admit, it looks really cool. I've got, you know, whiskey bottles, some of my whiskey bottles, you know, Peterson box, a cool church warden on the top, and some tobacco tins, and, you know, I bought these matches solely because I like the box. It just looks cool on the pipe rack, and they're actually decent matches. But, you know, all my pipes and jars, and there's all my McClellans. I'm a huge McClellan fan, and there's some more down there. You know, just little trinkets and stuff. Like this is actually a kangaroo nutsack from Australia. It just looks cool. It's a bottle opener. And I keep all my pipes and my pipe cleaning stuff and lighters and everything on there. So the rest is really kind of up to you. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. I hope it explains some things, and seeing it in video will help you put it together. I'll include my phone number. You guys can call me if you have any questions. And then also, freestyle on this. Take your own ideas. I didn't get this from a Pinterest or anything. There was nothing out there that showed this idea. I just kind of came up with it and knew that it would work and freestyled it on my own, and it came out great. So I'm sure you guys are just as creative, if not more than I am. And put your creativity into it. Send me some pictures. Tag me on Instagram, and I'll take a look at it and like and comment on it and tell you how awesome it looks. So really easy project. Should only take about 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours if you if you run out of something and have to go to Home Depot. But again, thanks for the interest on Instagram, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you found this helpful, and good luck with your pipe projects and sweet smokes, dudes. Peace.